more. From New York, we have Melissa Otto, Director of TIAA-CREF Investment Management, joining us this morning. Good to have you in the program. Melissa, what's happened to Nintendo? Wasn't it just a few years ago we were talking about their stellar earnings, and it looked like no one can get enough of the Wii, but times have changed, haven't they?
Absolutely, an absolute fall from glory. I mean, a stock that was once trading at an incredible 70,000 yen is now, teetering at 10,000 yen. Unbelievable. I mean, I think there's really three things here that are working against them. One is absolutely the yen. Secondly, you've got a very competitive environment that has become much more fragmented than in the days of the Wii. And thirdly, they don't have a digital strategy. They don't have apps. You can't get them on the iPhone. Where are they? So I think those three things have really led to the demise of Nintendo and its strategy, and clearly its stock price.
Yeah, well, they're predicting an $800 million loss for the full year ending in March, so that's going to be a big hit for the company. But, what happened to the Wii U? And is this really the refresh that Nintendo needs to be relevant once again?
It'll be interesting to see. They have a fantastic track record. They have a wonderful brand. But the question is, does the consumer care now? Are they so distracted with the loads and loads of apps that they're getting on their tablets and their smartphones that it doesn't really matter? So it'll be interesting to see what they deliver at E3 and see what kind of sizzle they can get back.
Okay, well, Melissa, it sounds like you're saying that the game consoles are going to go the way of Sony Walkmans, basically not going to be, in the recreation space for the average user. Is that what's happening right now? People are just going mobile and that's it?
It seems that that's really the trend. And if we look at Apple's numbers are very telling. Those iPhone numbers, the units that they sold, clearly exceeded expectations, and not simply in the U.S. market. It's really a global phenomenon, and I think that's really, as Apple succeeds and leads the way, what they're doing, it's a zero-sum game, so they're leaving in the dust some of these Japanese players that are really one-trick ponies, and Nintendo is clearly one of those examples.
Right. Okay, Melissa, so Nintendo's stock has dropped 56% last year, and we saw it declining overnight. At this point, do you think you forecast another year of losses and stock drops as well for Nintendo?
It's going to be tough. I mean, and we're getting to a point where the company is approaching, this company's stock price is approaching cash value. So, on our projections, we're looking at about 8,000 yen gets them to the actual value of the cash on their balance sheet, which would put no value whatsoever on the company. And let's assume that they don't go in and start burning cash. Let's assume that actually Wii U comes back to life and that, consumers start to get a little bit of resonance from Mario, and maybe they do wow the market and come out with some sort of digital strategy. I mean, those things would be catalysts, but I'm certainly very cautious and watching here on the sidelines. The other thing that would get me excited about Nintendo is if suddenly we saw a pretty dramatic change in the currency. Without those currency headwinds, the year-over-year comps look very easy. So even if the top line isn't very spicy, on a comp basis, if we see much better yen-dollar, then perhaps, we could see a pretty nice improvement in the margins.
All right. Melissa, good talking to you
tonight. It's anybody's best guess.
Yeah, you bet. It's a tough market, isn't it? Thank you so much for your analysis. Melissa Otto, Director of Active Equities at TIAA-CREF, joining us from New York this morning.